Hello, fellow AFL enjoyers. Back reacting to a pretty solid round of footy. We'll be honest. It didn't start off so solid, to be honest, with the Georgie boys going down again.
Did we go down?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
You actually-
no.
yeah, oh, no.
Not again.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to happen again and again and again forever.
Yeah. It's just, man, what can we just stop making Carlton games the Thursday or the
No,
Friday?
you should have just stopped at Carlton games. Stop making Carlton
buy
games.
rounds for the rest of the year. Just count it as a
You know-
win for the other team.
You know what? Like, they used to make fun of me and say, like, Carlton to Tassie. You know what? Let's do it. Change the pace, change the scenery.
I hear the stadium's going to be very nice.
True.
Carlton's got money. They can put the roof that the government can't afford. And,
There
you know,
it is.
change it up.
Yeah, that might be it, man. That might be the move, man. I got to say, though, I liked at the end of the first quarter, Pitnet launching it from 60. Just to G up the boys, you know, just a fake little G up for the boys, you know, into the last three quarters.
I got to admit, that got spoiled for me because I was watching like 5 minutes on delay.
Oh, okay.
And then I was flicking through Instagram at the same time and I saw the clip. And so I knew it was coming. And man, I wish that like that's the most Pitternet is a spud. I know that people are saying like, oh, Tom DeConning can go. Pitternet had a great game, kicked 2 goals. He's a first ruck. He's not. No. Don't get fooled by whatever the hell that was. That was just as likely to go backwards than forwards. But yeah, no, that was a pretty amazing goal. He had a good game, to be fair to Pitnet.
Yeah, no, he actually has been all right, you know, since, you know.
His celebrations are hilarious, though. It's like it's like that unpopular kid that has never got attention and then says a funny joke and everyone laughs. And he's like, yeah, that was me.
Look, that kind of reminds me of me scoring a goal at futsal. Honestly, because I scored 3 goals in my like 6-year career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anytime I scored a goal, everyone
It's
got
like
around.
it lost the plot. Yeah. Whenever I'd made a pass or didn't kick an own goal at futsal, everyone's like, Sven had a good game.
Yeah, or you didn't like break your toe.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know?
I'm pretty sure, just on a quick side note of football, I think your last game was my first game.
Oh,
and
was
you
it?
subbed yourself off for me and you're like, get me off. I'm out of here.
Look, was that at court
Did I
3?
break- did I-
It was the
basketball
that second
court.
other court. Yeah, the third court.
court 3. Yeah, that's crazy.
And we never saw you again.
Was that not the one I broke my toe at?
Nah. No.
I broke my toe at the second court in the
Okay.
main
in
room.
the main, yeah.
No,
that
no.
So
was-
this is the orange court, is it?
Yeah, the third one. Yeah,
Bro, one time before Sigma, it was like 9 o'clock game. 9 o'clock game.
Yeah.
And no one could just make it. So I played. And I
Yeah.
remember Dorsey, shout out to Dorsey, his birthday today. He was the
Happy
coach.
birthday.
He was trying to coach us. And I kicked an own goal. And it was like 10-0. Like we just got annihilated. It was like, it was literally like a 12-year-old team up against like, you know, the Lakers or something like that. But a soccer reference. And at the end they're like, oh no, good effort, George. Good effort, man. You tried hard. Man, I got an own goal.
Oh god, I feel like that was very unrelated to footy, but somehow it was really
I
related.
had to drive home that night.
Yeah.
I had to drive home that night
Yeah.
and then get confident, like, you know what, we did okay. Let's go out to the clubs and let's talk to girls after that.
That's hard, bro.
That's not a pre-workout. That's not like
Yeah.
your pre-drinks.
No, that's not how you want to do it. But I don't know. For some reason, this feels relevant to Carlton, regardless of how irrelevant it
I'm
is.
gonna say,
Yeah,
like, now
well,
you know,
Carlton supporters suck at sport.
now you know how Michael Voss felt fronting the media. You had to front some women at the clubs.
Yes.
Pop-
And I had to
pop
act
some
like
up.
I knew what I was doing, like Michael Voss. There, we made it full circle.
There we go.
About the game. Let's have a look at what happened.
Yeah. Dunkley won, you know, another medal.
Yeah.
Why was there a medal?
They did look. I like
Robert
the fact
Walls.
that it's Robert Wall's medal,
Oh,
but like
yeah. Nice.
these medals, unless it's the Anzac Day medal and maybe like I don't know, any other game that really counts for this, I feel like they don't really count. It's a nice little memento.
Best
type
on
thing.
ground. Yeah, whatever.
You know, but yeah, look, Dunkley hadn't had he hasn't been that great recently, so it's good to see him get back into a bit of form. And Brizzy kind of need that, you know, they need at least, you know, 1 or 2 of their main mids to just be, you know, doing the business, you know, come finals time.
If we think Carlton's going to, you know, write this season off and then come back next year better and back to their best, they're not. Because if you look at Brisbane, right, Brisbane and Carlton have a similar timeline on their rebuilds. Like they were both bad at the same time. And Brisbane got there quicker. And they've been great. They've won a flag now. Look at, like, let me read you some names like Wilmot, Dunkley, Neil, Berry's kind of all right. Ashcroft, Zorko, Fletcher, Bailey, Rayner, Archie, Logan Morris, McLuggage, Levi Ashcroft. Like, look how many names I've just listed that are all top liners.
Yeah.
McInerney's a decent ruckman. Kyle Lohman, Charlie Cameron, one of the best small forwards of the last how many years. Darcy Fort's a bit average. Harris Andrews, one of the best fullbacks. Hipwood's a bit of a spud. Starcevic, Leicester's serviceable. Gardner, Answorth. So 80% of that team is elite, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Let's do Carlton. Hewitt's fine, serviceable. Cripper, all right, legend. Chera, average at best. Haynes, whatever, he's got 1 or 2 years. Cowan, fine. Tom DeConning. Motlop, terrible. Pitnett, terrible. Doherty's career's ended. Hollands can't kick. Williams can't play a full game. Fantasia can't play a full game. Kerno's a gun, but not this year. Moya, whatever. O'Farrell, second game. McGovern. Wiedering's good. Chincotta, Durden, Flynn Young, Fogarty, Carroll, Lord. What is this list, man?
That's bad, man.
Like, just how many names did I list in Brisbane? You're like, wow, oh, good, yeah, good, I'd take him, yeah, good. And then you go to Carlton, and it's just a wasteland of shit.
And can I just say though,
A wasteland of shit.
It is though.
I did say maybe 2 months ago. I genuinely asked you. I said, what made Carlton fans and really the AFL world to an extent think that Carlton was like top 4 fancies? And you gave me an answer at the time that made me think that you still sort of thought that there was enough talent and it's just gone to shit with coaching, whatever. But quite clearly, I agree with you. This is why I asked you a few months ago. It's a shit list.
It's a terrible list.
There's not much going on.
It is missing 6 good players, generally good players. So I think they've got 10 good players.
Mackay, Newman,
Walsh, Sard,
Yeah,
Elijah Hollands.
Yep.
Jagger
Smith would be in your best 22 for sure.
That's about 5 or 6, and we're probably missing one. Like Cottrell's not a great player, but he's very serviceable.
Role player.
He's a role player. He's a good role player though. He's not. And then I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 other players.
Brady,
that are right.
Is it Brady Kemp? Has he been out as well?
Kemp's missing. Is he? I don't know. He's okay.
Yeah. I think at one stage he was a decent third tall for you guys. Either forward or defense, he was doing okay at points.
So like they've got 10 good players, but yeah.
No, it's a lot. There's a lot.
And I think the mentality has a lot to do with it as well. Like there's obviously something massively wrong going inside the club that we don't know about. Because it's just shambles. Like how many times can a club kick it inside 50 to the opposition? It like if you were playing a drinking game, you'd be dead. Like it's unbelievable. Like you're just sitting there going, oh, can they complete a play? No. Can they complete a play? No. And how many of our players will get a shot from 20, 30 minutes out and miss? Like, are you taking the piss, bro? The goals are not like this big. They're actually, if you go to the park and you realize the goal's actually quite wide, there's a bit of margin of error.
Plenty.
And you've been doing it for your whole life. Just big sticks. Try. So it's just miserable. And then the only thing I'll say about the game is obviously Brisbane are leagues apart, like unbelievably way better, but they're also tougher. And there's many times where there was a contest 50-50 and the Brisbane player just went harder at the ball and the Carlton player kind of looked at the Brisbane player and said, oh, and it was gone. Handball, goal. And that was actually quite obvious to see. So that's pretty alarming as well.
Yeah, no, look, you look at their list and I think there are certain dudes that just have that energy and just grit. Like Wilmot had probably his best game of the year, 30 disposals. And I'm curious to see what's his meters gained. They must be huge, 450. Not as much as I thought, but that's the type of dude who just goes in. You know what I mean? And he goes full speed at every play. You know what I mean? Those type of guys bring energy to teams.
Yeah.
Him, Dunkley.
But the other thing is when you know you're going to win it, it's easier to run forward as well.
True. I guess you can trust in the system.
Yeah, they were showing some footage of Zach Bailey, who had an amazing game last week and had an almost game, like 1 goal 4, I think he kicked.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like playing more wing and then floating forward, right? And he's actually just floating forward and the ball's just, we're not sure what's happening. Oh, Carlton's got it. Oh, Brisbane's got it. It's in congestion. And then he gets out and he's free.
Yeah.
So he's just hedging his bets. I will win it and I'll be free.
And fair enough. Like it's easy for him to to have trust like that.
Anyway, look, this game could have been a lot worse. Funnily enough,
Yeah.
It could have been 100 points easy, and somehow it wasn't. But
yeah, that's fair. We'll move on to one of the games of the round, and it was just a game of extremes. Like Collingwood, was it 10, 11 behinds? What was it? What
10.
Yeah, insane. Like it's what was it? So 0 goals. So no goals in the first half entirely. It's crazy, and the fact that they
halfway through the third as well.
Yeah, well, that's the fact that they've done that, which is crazy enough as it is, but they made it a game. they made it a game somehow in typical Collingwood fashion.
Well, they were winning.
Typical.
Yeah, no,
They
we're winning.
thought
And
they
they
should
were
have
winning.
win.
Yeah, so it's just, yeah, like I think I don't know. Like for Gold Coast, it's a great win. It's a great win.
First
for them.
home Friday night game for them as well.
Yeah, so it's
One
an
of the biggest
occasion.
games of their history.
Yeah, no, it might be the best win in their history, apart from the Richmond one where Carmichael Hunt kicked the goal. But anyway, yeah, no, look, they rose to the occasion, and I think their big boys, so Rowell and Anderson in particular, they really rose to the occasion. So 30 disposals and 2 goals for Rowell, and Anderson's goal right at the end.
Amazing.
That was
Captain's
gorgeous,
goal.
man.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Well, this is the thing, right? So Collingwood hits the front, and then the the surprising thing of the game obviously was Collingwood not scoring a goal until the third quarter. But then for me, just as surprising is that they hit the front and storming in front, and then somehow the Suns stop it. I was calling it over in the chat, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think like when Collingwood gets a head of steam like that, Suns of all teams I wouldn't have expected to steady it. And it was really just a goal. And then from the stoppage that Anderson won, bang, bang. And I'm still surprised that they held them off. But I guess, man, it was their night, like you said.
Yeah, look, good leadership from Anderson. I've been big on him, even from the start of the year, about him being a great captain. I had him for first time All-Australian. Just saying.
Hey, that's
But
good shout.
it's obvious that Gold Coast has taken a step forward. And I think we all have to agree now that they're going to be playing finals.
Gold Coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know, I think, and you'd called it on Gold Coast early as well. We've got to give you credit on that. Dana, a little bit of a hater. And understandably so. Honestly, understandably so. But I think now
Look,
we
they
have
did lose to
admit-
Richmond
I think it's
at the start of the
Yeah,
year.
true.
How many games are left?
But they've come a long way. They've come a long way.
There's
100%.
one-
And they've got a game in hand against
Against Essendon,
six-
who have like 2 players left.
So they've got 7 games left, 6 left for everyone else. I'm not calling them in just yet.
But only one team has to take it from them. And they've got like, I don't know.
They can.
Look, fair enough. Look, it's
But
not.
their odds just went significantly higher.
Yeah,
of course.
100%. Look, I think we got to at least give
They
them.
clearly have the firepower to go with
Well, look,
the best team.
When they beat Essendon, assuming they play them this week instead of at the end of the year, they'd be 4th, right? A win ahead of that cluster on 44 points, which is basically everyone else.
Yeah.
And then Dogs on 40. So it's basically just the Dogs chasing them down or any of those other teams not falling. It's 2 games. Of course they can drop out with 6 to go.
Yeah, well, no, look, of course.
Mathematically, yes.
Mathematically, for sure.
At the
Not
very
not
least,
the aura though. It's not aura. They've
You
got
reckon
the
a
aura.
bit of aura for the Suns?
They got aura, man.
Look, I think so as well. Look, when Collingwood are coming in that hard at the end of the game, and you still manage to just to fight back and get those couple goals, that's big. That is big. And I think they'll do it's huge for their confidence. An interesting little side story, in this game was Josh Dacos. I had to get mentioned, and one of the stats here, right? Most Supercoach points in a quarter, right? He's 4th. 136 Supercoach points in a quarter.
Is that of all time?
Yeah. So
130?
136 in a quarter.
Man,
That's
that would have
crazy.
been a magical to watch if you owned him.
Oh, bro, look, I think I was asleep. I think I was asleep at the time because I'd worked the next day as a draft owner, that is. But the 3 players higher than that, right? So Bucks was there, Hurd, and Patrick Bowden.
Oh.
Look, it says here. Look, I always thought it was Joel Bowden was the one who got
Wait,
more
yeah, I was
points.
thinking Joel for a second there.
Yeah,
Patrick.
but look, who knows? Maybe Supercoach AFL on Twitter got it wrong. It's either it's one of the Bowdens did it right. 146 in a quarter. I do remember a game, and I think it was Joel, where it was just like he just kept getting the ball in defense against.
That's why they changed the rush
Essendon.
behind rule.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly right. I have that memory of that. But yeah, look, Josh Dacos goes into the midfield, and all of a sudden it's just like, okay, there's another one now. I woke up and looked at the Supercoach scores, and I saw 198 Dacos, and I had to really squint my eyes, and I saw the J. I'm like, what?
I'm the same, yeah.
Legit. I was in shock. But yeah, no, look, they found another weapon in the midfield. I think it probably leaves like someone like Tom Mitchell out or Ned Long out. One of those guys has to make way. And then Dan Houston, the guy who they recruited to play halfback, can get more touches down there. So I think it's going to be exciting for them to see that unfurl.
You know the funny thing about the Dacos commentary? It's kind of like you go to the main media and they're like, oh, he could be the best midfielder in the game. I was like, mate, he's played 1 quarter. He had an amazing quarter, kick goals forward as well. But like the reactionary element of the media is just ridiculous to me.
True. Well, look, if you're going to talk about, like players who do well in the last couple games, Max Hall all of a sudden is the best half forward in the game.
Yeah.
My boy.
You know what I mean? And you're Dino's boy. Look, and I like Max Hall, but it's been, a few games and he's been hot, but we can't all of a sudden say he's the dude. He's not better than Zach Bailey all of a sudden. But yeah, anyway, look, no, I think I believe in Gold Coast a bit more now after that one. I will say that.
Do you believe in the Dogs?
Do I believe in the Dogs? See, this is where
1-7 against the top teams. Apparently.
Great segue, man. Because last week, no, was it the week before? The week before they had a big win, and it was against Sydney,
Sydney.
at Sydney. You know, and that's not even that great.
That was a big win, man. I was very strong on that being a big win.
Yeah,
and I was confident in them. And now,
but now we look back at that and it's just like,
well, they've lost at Marvel against the Crows, who are not a Marvel team, and I think that adds some weight to the performance.
Yeah, is it the Bulldogs bad or Adelaide just really good?
I was going to say, like, we say the Crows aren't a Marvel team, but have they been an anything team in the last how long? Since their last finals run, they've been pretty mid.
Yeah, but right now
they're really good.
Right now, I think they're bona fide top 4 team, and I think the thing that got me was just the kicking overall in this game. Like Ed Richards, Bont, Dawson, 3 of the best left footers in the game, just putting on a show, man. And Thilthorpe coming to the play. That first goal that he scored on the run, goodness me.
Well, this is how you know that the kicking's been good into the 50 because both teams had their key forwards feasting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've talked about Adelaide's got the 3 key forward setup, which has kind of been a little bit criticised because it's not a standard way to do it. But they exposed the backline of the Western Bulldogs, right? But the key forwards, as we said throughout the year, are back, and every game we talk about from now to the end of this round has had a key forward that's dominated, which is interesting. But more specifically on this game, Northern 5 goals won, 6 goals straight from Thilthorpe, who's a very accurate kick. He always takes his chances. And
3 dead eyes in their forward line when you think about it. Fogg and Tex as well.
Yeah.
They're very accurate kicks, generally. I think, so the kicking from Adelaide. So it was, if Dawson kicks like that every week, he's the best player in the game, to be honest with you. Because he's been so up and down with his kicking. He'll have kicking games of less than like 40% kicking accuracy. And in this game, you're looking at him and he's just, it's unbelievable. He's kicking goals. He's finding his boys in the forward line.
I think he's been amazing this year. Like you're right about his kicking. I think was more shaky towards the start of the year, but I feel like this middle patch of the year, he's been dominant. One of the most dominant players and in line for All-Australian captain in my mind.
Something I think is interesting in this game is that, it's Thilthorpe versus Darcy. And obviously one does much better than the other. I still think Darcy's a bit better, but I think there's an actual conversation now, to be honest with you. Because I remember we were talking about a goal where Sam Darcy did something ridiculous. Like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before.
Well, he did it this week as well.
Yeah, well, he did actually. You know what? We'll mention that. The basketball goal where he dribbled it and then, kicks it from, 40 meters, whatever it was. Amazing. But Thilthorpe's first goal where he's on the run, that was excellent as well. I feel like there's similar traits to both of these dudes. We've got 2 generational forwards on our hands here, and I think there is because Thilthorpe has that extra level of physicality to his game. He's just a physical specimen, strength wise. I think there is a conversation between the two of them, to be honest with you.
He's a year more in the system, though, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's an extra year in the system.
Nonetheless, yeah.
Extra couple of years, surely.
Good question. Maybe it is extra.
Darcy wouldn't
Is
even be
it
21.
I think
maybe 2.
Thilthorpe would be like 25.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He was the same year as Dramara, Thilthorpe. So maybe you're right.
Maybe 24, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the thing with him, he hasn't had as many, because he's been injured. Games-wise, it's probably not that far away from what Darcy has, How old is he? You got his...
I'm wrong. He's only 23.
Yeah, so he's young. He's very young. And then Darcy would be, 21 or something? So yeah, it's probably a year or 2 difference. I think... Yeah, no, there is definitely a conversation now. A dude,
21.
Yeah, a dude who I also liked, first quarter, I think he did most of his damage in the first quarter, but Cumming, he, like, the fact that they can play him out on the wing, it's, he doesn't have to, play in a starring role, obviously, but there was a play where he just charged through, grabbed the ball, and then gets a little score involvement, another goal assist, and a goal in the first quarter. He had a crazy first quarter. it just shows the depth of this team, man. Like they recruited so well with him, Peatling, and Neil Bullen as well, playing a similar, bit more half-40 role.
It lets the star players shine when the periphery guys are really solid.
Yeah, and that's exactly, they're just solid footballers. They're not, not special, but, big bodies, strong bodies, relatively quick. They've done super well. I don't know. Are you guys concerned about the Dogs?
Whoever misses out on the finals will have to look at their season as a failure.
Yep.
And we don't know whether it's going to be the Dogs, whether it's going to be the Hawks, whether it's going to be Freo. I feel like it's between those three.
Yeah.
But any one of that team that misses will say it's a failure. And the Dogs have a great list. Like, they've got generational players. Like, Bontempelli pulled 37 disposals, man.
Yeah, no, he got 170 super coach.
If he can't get him over the line, I mean, we talk about Darcy, Libba's a gun, Ed Richards is one of the best midfielders in the comp. And you can go through the list, right? And yes, they're missing some players. I mean, Trelaw's not in there. I'm sure there's a couple others that I've missed. That's a top 8 team, surely.
Yeah,
well,
it's top 4 team.
I was going to say, so right, the issue with the Dogs right now is they've got the 3rd best percentage, right? And you said their record, they're 1-7 against the top 8.
I believe that's the case.
Yeah, something like that. If they simply win 2 more, they're in the top 4 with a very healthy percentage.
Well, there it is.
And they should have and could have. But obviously something's not quite there yet. Now, is it close enough where they make finals?
I think they'll make finals because their run's pretty acceptable. A lot of games in Marvel.
And then when they're there, like do you look at them like this is another top 4 team that just didn't make it because there can only be 4? Or are they the team that you can get at? That's up to them, man.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that on their day they can beat anyone, but they actually haven't shown it. It's more theoretical at this point.
Yeah, true. Look, I think if we're going to talk about anything that's actually lacking from their team, I think their key defenders just, I don't know, they're not consistent enough. Like there's times where I've said, Lobb's amazing and O'Donnell's amazing, but I don't know. I feel like there's still something missing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's their main criticism is defense and ability to stop teams from scoring well. Like Adelaide, they beat them, but they scored like 109 points. Good teams don't let the other team score over 100 points, right? Now, I know it's a bit of a high-scoring game, and they're both attacking teams, but...
You mentioned their run, just by the way. It's not that easy. They've got the Lions this week.
And they're GWS.
Then it's Essendon. Fair.
Yeah, easy.
Then Giants.
Yeah.
Dogfight for top 8. Not easy. Melbourne. Easier.
And West Coast.
Eagles easier. But then they finish with Freo. That could be a very, very interesting game.
So 3 of those are definites with a good percentage. And they have to win... Is the Freo game in Melbourne, though?
Yes. It's at Marvel.
Yeah.
I'll go as far as to say, man, if they lose this week against the Lions at the Gabba, you got to win all of them. Because then they're 2 wins out, potentially.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair call, man.
Got to win everything.
So actually, it isn't actually as, as mathematically certain as you think based on, that run. But yeah, look, it's interesting. Like Georgie said, it's going to be tough for whoever misses out. Something tells me that in the next game, though, neither of these teams are going to miss out. I think GWS have shown that they've just got weapons.
Kingsley's 4-0 against Scott.
That's crazy.
They just
got to figure it out.
Didn't I say last week they beat them at GMHBA, and I'm like, something about my mind, every time I picture Giants versus the Cats, it's always a Giants win.
Well, that's what's happened.
Yeah.
I think they obviously match up super well against them. Their handball game, maybe getting out to space, Geelong can't stop them. There has to be something in the DNA of how they play that affects the Cats if they're so consistently beating them when the Cats are still a good team, right? Talk about forwards. Shannon Neal, 5 straight. Cadman, 6-1.
Mate, Cadman, all of a sudden, the pick 1 is justified.
Yeah.
See the double cobra?
What's that?
You see the double cobra?
He did, mate. He's looking jacked, bro. Him and Curtin, both him and Curtin did the double cobra, and they're both looking big. Those boys, man. They put on some muscle. Yeah, look, I think justified pick. You start to think, okay, maybe I would take him over Sheasel. As crazy as that sounds, because I love Shees. I love Shees. But then in saying that, we would add, look, you definitely take him over Wardlaw at this point. Let's be fair.
Yeah. Oh, but that's only because of
Yeah,
some very concerning concussion problems.
yeah.
I think ordinarily everyone loves George.
Oh yeah, no,
know,
we all
like,
love Georgie.
Goes
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Of
and
course,
George
mate.
Wardlaw.
Yeah, George and George Wardlaw. Yeah, but man, that's kid has just that athleticism. He's got the finishing ability as well. He's kicking him from, he's kicking snaps. He's kicking him from 50. Like it's
Confidence through the roof now.
and I think the foil of Jake Stringer as well. That's man. He's just a guy who can just has that a confidence player again. And I think that really galvanizes a team when this dude's just doing what he wants and then celebrating, like it's his first ever goal every time. That helps as well, man. And then not to forget, Jesse Hogan, but he did get subbed. Didn't have his best game, but yeah.
I think game starts and Geelong looked really on it. Kicked 3 very quick ones. So for me, the surprising thing was Giants just sort of welcoming that threat and just going bang. And we constantly say this on the pod, but they're one of the teams in the league that can go from extreme not looking good to extreme like this team's untouchable. And they manage to do it sometimes in the same game as well. So they start,
that's true.
They're not on it, and then all of a sudden they're multiple goals in front. You're like, what is this team? They just need to do it at the right time.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be playing them in the finals, man. With all this,
not when they're on, man. And
because their defense is bloody solid as well.
They've got big game players as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lockie Whitfield, 250 games.
Yeah.
One of my absolute favourite players.
He's you.
He's me.
This is you. He's you.
I love this guy, man. He's like 30-something years old. He's got no biceps. He just runs all day. And he just gets the cheap possessions, and he's just made a career out of it. And he's a gun. And I love him.
But he's a gun. Like you say cheap possessions, man. But like the drive that he provides, that consistent running, and the ball use as well.
Yeah, he's a brilliant.
Yeah,
one of the greatest ever, inaugural Giant.
It is kind of crazy that he's 30, though. And he's played 250. I remember when he was getting picked, like all the hype around him. Like, man,
he's a pick one.
Yeah, was he inaugural though? Was he the first pick for them, or wasn't that Patton?
No, that was Caniglio and what's his
Was he not in the initial team or not?
No, I don't think so. He might have been the year or two after. But I think it was Patton. Was it not Patton?
It was definitely 1, 2. 2 was Caniglio, wasn't it? Who was 1?
Patton. Jonathan Patton, right?
Patton.
Was it not Jonathan? Maybe I'm. I don't know. I'm curious now. I don't know. Someone's got to search that up. But yeah, look, I think he's probably third best player of all time for them.
Yeah,
third best. Like you go Toby, Cameron still,
Cameron Whitfield,
and then Whitfield. I think that's fair to say. Like I think it could have been Cogs if he had a bit more continuity, a bit more longevity. Kelly as well. You got to consider
Kelly
and
Ward are probably.
Yeah, true.
Ward's
true.
had a long career.
Yeah, true. No, you got to give him that too. So yeah, no, Whitfield. That's been a great player. But yeah, no, look, it's I don't know. They're just. I'm just looking at stats and whatnot. But yeah, no, they brought it today, and I think they become a threat for come finals time. I'll tell you that.
I'm never really worried about when Geelong loses, and neither is Chris Scott. He's got such a good way of downplaying bad performances. It's brilliant. But they always bounce back, so they'll be okay. But yeah, for whatever it is, if they have a final with these two teams, it's written in the stars, mate. We know who's going to win.
Yeah, true, man. Put the mortgage on it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Gamble responsibly.
Jump into the next game, and
can I start this one?
Oh, 100%, man.
All right, so it's Richmond. It's Richmond Essendon, right?
Yeah. So
first of all, Essendon, oh my gosh! But I just want to summarize this game by fan footy, right? So fan footy, I screenshot the comments as the game ends because admittedly I didn't watch this game, right?
Yeah,
so
mate.
I got a fan footy to see what happened. Football truly peaked as a sport tonight, right? The skills in this game wouldn't look out of place at an under 6 Auskick game. What the actual flower am I watching? Like, this is the comments just right at the end. Game of the year right here. There's one that killed me. What was it? This game is the reason aliens don't visit Earth. Like, they just went hard. And anyone I talked to about this game says it was the worst game they've ever seen in ever. Man. So skills terrible. And fan footy backs that up.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's kind of enough to say. But look, it was kind of
How do you lose to Richmond, bro? I mean, Carlton did it, but how did you lose to Richmond, bro?
Yeah, look, but in those circumstances...
No, that's the thing. It's not losing to Richmond because they've won a few games this year and they've shown that even in some games they've lost, they've been competitive for a half or so. But the Bombers here, like we give flowers when they lose, and sometimes most of the time it's a bit of a piss take. This is not a flowers moment.
No.
You scored 3-0 in the first quarter. You then go against one of the worst teams in the league. 1 goal, 13 behinds in 3 quarters of footy.
Look, you can't say that that's because of injuries.
No, because watch any VFL game. This isn't a scoreline. Like, both teams should be embarrassed. Don't blame the injuries, although Brad Scott will.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he will. Yeah.
You know, you blame injuries for the overall year, maybe for not making the 8 or not making, if you make bottom 4 and you slide even more. You don't blame injuries for a game like this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, this is, there's something properly wrong. There's a systemic problem here. I will say, I do feel bad for Nick Martin. That is the one dude where I'm like, man, he's a dude who just goes out and, I feel like he's a constant, running and constant energetic presence for them. And that would suck for fans. There was a work colleague of mine who said, I'm not watching footy again until Nick Martin comes back. And honestly, that's fair. Right?
You'd be waiting a while, mate.
Yeah, look, it might be he misses the 2026 season.
Yeah. And there's no good time to do an ACL, obviously, but like doing it at the end of the year or like towards the end, it's the worst because like you're missing most of, if not all of next year too.
Whilst I was sad about that, seeing Brad Scott sad was kind of great. Not gonna lie, I will say that. He's such an annoying coach. But yeah, look, for the Richmond perspective, hey, you guys got a W. That's cool. What's his name?
Taj Hodden.
Thank you, Taj Hodden. That's what I was looking for. He looks like a player. Looks like he could be something. Was he pick 14, 15, coming off an ACL?
He slid.
He would have been, who knows, but top 5 apparently. Injured in the draft year, slid. And then he played a couple good games. I had actually my eye on him if I was desperate for a cheeky super coach shout because he's a forward. But no, he's not that kind of guy right now. But I think give it 2 years, everyone's going to have this guy in the super coach team. I'm calling it.
Oh,
lock him in.
You know what? There'll probably be a year where, say, next year he plays forward most of the year,
yeah.
And then they realize we got to get this guy in the midfield.
I reckon yes.
So 2027,
forward mid. Everyone's going to lock in Taj Hodden.
Yeah, and he'll be about 340k. And you pick him.
And some people will be like, nah, I don't do bid prices. And then they're going to trade him in after game 1.
Exactly right, man. Look, good. I like that prediction, man.
So we'll get back to you on that one, but
yeah.
No, good on him, man. And he kicked the goal as well. Like in a low-scoring game, he had a big impact, right? So
there
good
it
on
is,
him.
man. There it is.
Big chunk of the score, that 1 goal.
Yeah. What's his name? Luke Traynor got the rising star. Probably. Look, I think there's another player who we'll talk about later who should have had it, but I think overall he's had a pretty decent first
He has
season.
had a good season.
Can we talk about it now? Cooper Harvey, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, 4 goals.
4 goals, man.
They would have done weighted numbers. That's how they do it.
It's
bullshit. Man.
They do weighted numbers because they say, what happens if Trainer doesn't have like a big performance rest of the year? He deserves the nomination.
That's trash, bro. Just
that's
save
how
it
they
for
go,
next year.
What happens if Cooper Harvey goes back to the VFL, which he's been in most of the year? Come on, man. Give me a spell.
Next year, he'll be right.
It's rubbish, man. And forwards, like kicking goals are more important than 16 disposals. Come on, man.
4 goals.
4 goals.
You've played like 5 games. You kicked 4 goals. Come on, man.
I don't know. Is he ineligible? Has he been around that long where he's ineligible now? Like I actually don't know. I doubt it though.
I hope that's the reason.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll suss that one out. But we'll jump into, before we skip it, because it was a great game, and I think it was a statement win again. Another team with a statement win. And
definitely a statement win.
Freo.
Oh, I watched
the Freo.
The Freo,
mate.
I've got to be honest. I only watched the last quarter, but I must say, the Hawks could not touch them in that last
It was
quarter.
one-way traffic, man.
That was like Hawthorn was trying desperately to hang on to anything in the game. And Freo, to their credit, were tough as anything and just didn't give them an inch. Hawthorn just bombing the ball down the line. The amount of deliberates, even in the moment where they're chasing the game, they couldn't do anything but just bomb it down the line and hope.
Yeah,
So
they
well
made
done,
wrong
Freo.
decision after wrong decision, and Freo was just that aggressive kind of team that just had all the momentum. And I think they were the only one that kicked goals in the last quarter. I don't think Hawks kicked the goal.
They couldn't touch him.
And yeah, watching that last quarter, you're like, oh, it's signed, sealed, delivered. Freo will win this. So yeah, it's a tough performance from Freo because I feel like they have their moments, but they're not really a team to be relied upon. But in that last quarter, I thought, oh, they've got him here.
Yeah.
So that was good. And typified by Brayshaw cracking his head open and waving to the crowd and dabbing on haters and everything like that. That was cool.
Man,
He's like doing these ones up to the crowd where he's been knocked out by his teammate.
Yeah.
That was all cool. I can't believe Fox Footy interviewed him. As tough as it was, it was cool. But also, like, there was gushing blood. Like, I didn't want to see that, to be honest with you. It was a bit much.
That was, a little bit intense to finish the game. Look, I got to say, they got a nice... All right, they got Collingwood coming up. But then the run is West Coast, Carlton, Port. It's not bad. And then it's Brizzy and Western Bulldogs. It's kind of a 50-50 run. 3 tough games, 3 easy ones. So, look, I think they're not locked in.
A Hawks,
you can't even call
a Hawks the most gettable.
We'll see their fixture in a moment, actually, but they're not. Look, they're not consistent enough this year, and if they do fall out, it's their own fault.
Yeah, especially with the start they had.
So Hawthorn, so Carlton, so easy win, but then actually no, it's Port, so that should be a win. Carlton, easy win, but then Crows, Collingwood, Melbourne, Brisbane. So again, actually for them, they've got 3 easy, 3 tough.
They've got to move in these next 2. No slip ups. If they slip up against Port or Carlton, it's over.
The good thing for all these teams is the destiny's in their own hands. Right, they've got enough time to work it out, and they just have to win a couple of the big games.
And everyone's got a couple hard, couple easy.
Yeah.
To be fair,
It's actually pretty cool.
Except for Geelong. Geelong's at the easiest run, bro.
Yeah,
of course.
it's kind of cool because you can kind of like just plan out your dates to make sure you're free for the big games because there's some good ones and then there's
we all know for sure now what the good games are.
Yeah, exactly, and there's a bunch of bad ones too. So, but
yeah, what's this Geelong run? Sorry, you just got my mind to it now. This is a piss take, surely.
Yeah, go. Have you got it?
Saints, Saints, North, Port in Geelong, Essendon in Geelong, Sydney away, Richmond.
Like, give me a spell. They'll finish first, bro. They'll finish first, man.
Yeah, they might come top 2.
Your prediction might be right in the end.
They'll be playing at GMHBA in the first final, surely. Anyway.
Yeah, that's very important as well to get that that home final to start and double chance.
Just quickly on Hawthorn, actually. So something came up on my socials about heaps of Hawth fans unhappy with 2 players, and they'll surprise you. And it won't surprise me because I've got them both in draft, and I know it's annoying the shit out of me.
Oh, okay.
Sicily, a lot of them calling for like, this guy's been injured half the year. He comes back and I did notice in the last quarter, dropping marks, not looking his usual calm self, and leadership just not really showing. But also Dylan Moore, poor, but not really the extent of Hawthorn fans wanting him dropped. They're saying chuck him in the guts because last year there was plenty of games where he was the X factor thrown in for a quarter or throw him in the on ball mix. But apparently he didn't attend any CBAs in a game that was crying out for a bit of toughness.
17 possessions is not enough for him. He needs the ball in his hands more.
Yeah, and it was all like dump kicks like the rest of the team. Like, it wasn't impacts. 17 could be good for him if it's 17, maybe a goal and a couple of assists, but it was 17 just nothing possessions, scrap kicks. And so I don't know, watch this space. Maybe it was just a coaching error from Sammy, but
who's getting...
he's got more to give, man, surely.
Yeah, so currently they're high CBAs. So Newcomb, Nash, Warple, Ward... Mackenzie got a few, but then he got subbed out. Yeah.
There's room in there for a handful.
100%.
Come on.
I'm happy to slide out Mackenzie out of the team and then Ward to the wing, and you can get more some of those minutes.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that, man. Because whenever he does play in the middle, he always looks like one of the best players on the ground.
Yeah.
So
and that's what the Hawks fans were saying, man. Like last quarter, they couldn't get anything going. Surely you just throw him around the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know, some Hawks fans sort of questioning the coaching there, but I think their leaders definitely, like, this is the time now to steady them up a bit.
I have to agree with that.
We'll see.
Look, I feel like it's something that I don't know if we were all saying it, but I do remember thinking this at the very least, right? At the start of the year, for the Hawks, they were such, like, favourites to be top 4 based on last year. And I was kind of saying, look, it's still a young team. Like, to back it up will be just as impressive as what they did last year. It's very hard.
They started 4-0. That's why the hype went crazy. It felt like a foregone conclusion.
But it was even before the season even started, though. It was before that. So it's like, now I guess injuries have sort of got him a little bit. Sicily's been out for games and...
Will Day, Weddle.
Yeah, Will Day. Yeah, true. You know what? I got to cut him some slack. Those Will Day and Weddle are huge outs. Like, Weddle's is such an X factor. But yeah, for Freo, man, shout out those mids. Shout out those mids, man. And shout out your boy as well, Clark.
Love him. Let's talk some Melbourne North, mate.
Yeah, so, look.
Revenge game.
Yeah,
pretty
legit. I think that's pretty much the story of the game for me. It's that last time we versed them, we started that fourth quarter on a tear. This time, Melbourne did it to us. And that's pretty disappointing because we were in the game and arguably we should have been ahead, but it just missed set shots and just
It's not as
that
fun when
lack
it
of-
happens to you, I must say.
Yeah, nah, 100%, man, 100%. But yeah, look, a guy that we talked about earlier, because as North fans at this stage, if we don't get the win, I don't know, we got to look at some sort of positive. And Cooper Harvey, it's taken long enough for him to come in. And I remember during like the season, like his VFL numbers was always 2, 3, 4 goals, and pretty consistently getting amongst it. And now he's doing it at AFL level as well, and that's exciting. And I'm glad that he's able to change up his narrative, because there's a bunch of talk about him being lazy, being this and that, and he only got extended last year because of his name. Now, mate, he's going to be asking for 2 or 3 years, because he's looking, like one of the smarter, forwards. In this game, he was the smartest forward out there, pretty much.
I think the reason he struggled to get a game was, if you see his goals, they're all lead up marks, which you're looking at him, he's not that tall. You're thinking, what's the deal here? Now, my one thing against that would be, just because he's smaller doesn't mean he needs to play like a conventional small forward. And you see, like, I'm not comparing him to this player specifically, but look at a Jamie Elliott, right? He's a lead up forward, but he's definitely not key forward size.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is Cooper Harvey is the next Jamie Elliott.
Yeah,
Keep him in the team.
He's one of Georgie's favourites, Jaden Stevenson, year 1.
Oh,
He's a bit of that.
I
you know
love
what I mean?
James Stevenson. You won, mate.
Mate, just
The streets won't forget, mate.
The streets won't forget, man. Feel like pure shit.
But you
Just
know
want-
what? Jamie Elliott just gets great service as well. Like, he's a great player, but
And
he
this
gets
is-
great
yeah.
service.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes you demand the service with great leads, and you just sort of demand, like, you're right there presenting, right? So, look, whether that's his potential or not, obviously very difficult ceiling to reach. But it goes to show, like, I think we just need to look at the forward line as North Melbourne people and say, let's just get good footballers in there that know where the goals are.
Exactly right.
If they're leading up, if they're crumbing, whatever, just get the good players there so they can kick a few goals, and I think we'll be okay.
Because some of the dudes that that we've been trialing in there, and dudes that we like them, like Constanti's cool, and I love his pressure is unbelievable, and I think you need that in there. Even Robbie Hansen, you can see little things that are like, oh yeah, that's good, but none of them are really getting none of them are getting 4 goals.
Correct.
That's a rarity for us to have a small forward kicking that many goals.
Well, the only people that would be kicking 4 goals for us in the last 6, 7, 8 years would be Larky, Zerha, Curtis.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I don't think anyone else would have gotten near 4 goals. So,
And it seems like you should at least have the potential to get that amount of
Correct.
goals.
like, there's no reason a Constanti playing all year couldn't have bopped up with 3 in one game. Not even 3.
Yeah.
So-
true. I'm curious actually to see his numbers and see if he has kicked 3 goals.
I don't think he would have kicked more than 2 off the top of my head.
Yeah. And I guess he just stays in there because of the pressure, which is fair enough.
Which
to
is
be
fair
honest
enough,
with
but
you.
also, like you said, at least have the threat that it might happen one day.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly
a Brad
right.
Close for Geelong. Every now and again will pop up with 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like he might have done a 5 before.
Surely,
Brad Close,
yeah.
He wouldn't have done a 5.
Something tells me Brad Close has done
But it's a
5,
threat of
man.
it.
But
It's
there
the
is a threat.
The threat of 5.
Anyway.
Yeah. Nah,
Bro,
look,
there is no threat very close to the 5.
But look, all in all, and this is another thing I just want to vent about a little bit, is
Yeah.
something about the North fans this year has just pissed me off. And maybe it's because just you read too much online stuff sometimes. But you look at the teams, right? And there was talk when Stephen May was a late, but we knew ahead of time. And McDonald comes in, like North fans like, oh, chances of winning have just gone up. This and that. We had no LDU, no Wardlaw, Larky out. When's the last time we played without Larky?
see, that's the thing. I think they were talking about it earlier in the, before the game started. It's like a time where there's been no Luke McDonald, no
Luke McDonald as well, yeah.
I'm not so much saying that we missed him like a lot, but like more so just him, Larky, LDU. I can't remember which other player it was. Us playing in a game without those guys, it's been since like 2016 or
Correct.
something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just years without these guys who have
Yeah.
have been staples of the team.
And then Tom McDonald comes in for Stephen May. And
He's
everyone's
a
like,
good player.
whatever. He's good, firstly. Secondly, he played good.
yeah.
17 touches, 11 marks, which he always was going to do with the service we put in the forward line.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, just this whole thing of like, it happened in round 1 when we played the Dogs. Oh, half the team's out, 6 players are out, we're going to win. It's like, we're still North Melbourne. We still need to prove ourselves.
Yeah.
Doesn't
100%.
matter what team's out there on the other end. It could be a VFL team for all I care. If you don't show up, you're going to lose. And you can't have this sense of entitlement. We are in no position to be entitled. So maybe it's a fan thing. I hope it's not a player thing, because that's disgusting if that's the case. You guys haven't earned shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm looking for positives moving forward. Like you said, Cooper Harvey's one. McCurch has been in ripping form. I don't know, man. Let's just try and get a few more wins on the board. Let's try and not embarrass ourselves. We're playing a few hard teams coming up, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
The Sherry incident.
Yeah,
See that just ruins any chances of us being competitive. I feel, to be honest.
Yeah.
In in a few games. Look, I think it looks bad, and obviously he's going to get his. I think he was offered 3.
it's 3. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it though, Salem did push Simpkin into Tom Sparrow. Where does that come into the calculations of, hey, this dude just did a dangerous act? I know if it was a direct push of Sparrow, and obviously why you wouldn't push your own player into that. The fact that it was a consequential,
Yeah, look, I don't know. They'll still sort of argue probably if they even appeal it. The striking motion itself is like, why are you doing it?
Yeah. Look, it's to hit the ball. But look,
You reckon it was? I don't know.
look,
I think
do you reckon he's striking going out there to hurt? If it was, then it would be more than 3 weeks.
I think a
It
bit
would
of
be
a,
5 or 6.
I think a bit of a
I
Sherry.
don't think it's. I don't think it's intentional.
I think he
no
was.
way.
I think he was wanting to leave a bit of him, like in the chest sort of area, give him a bit of a bump.
Okay. All right.
Bit of
Look,
a,
I
bit
kind
of
of
a
get what
forearm, bit of a, you're gonna know I was here sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of get what you mean.
But you're right. He did get pushed into him. So if that's any chance of an appeal, there it is. But
yeah.
after Paul Curtis getting suspended for a tackle, I'm not holding my breath, man. Come
Well,
on.
that's the thing now. We haven't been given any sort of.
You guys never recovered
Slack.
from that Paul Curtis tackle.
Bro, I'm going to be bringing that up.
Could have been finals. Could have been finals for you guys. I reckon.
Man,
That killed the momentum.
Get
You
out
joke,
of
bro.
That killed my
look at
team
this-
as well.
I was gonna say,
that
look-
killed my team,
hang
man.
on a
Look at this
second.
Carlton supporter
No, that killed my
making
team.
jokes at you.
You're joking, right? But we lost 2 games by under a goal to Port and Essendon.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It
my
actually did.
I would be top of draft if Paul Curtis didn't get that suspension.
Mate.
So how
He
do
was
you-
pulling 120s every week, mate.
I do remember that. That was fun. Even as
And
a
I generally
non-owner.
agree you guys would have won those games if he was playing.
And then what? And the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, sky's the
that's it.
limit.
That's
We'd be in the
mate.
dogfight. For
Yeah,
top
that's
8.
it, mate. It'd be 10 teams, looking at the finals. But yeah, anyway, shout out Langford. He's a good player.
Yeah. Shout out Melbourne.
For
Good
Melbourne,
win. Malcolm's
yeah.
just somehow kicking.
He's on a
tags everywhere.
tear.
Ever
Malcolm.
since we shouted him out,
Yeah.
True, I think
about,
he's-
about I think initially it was a
Zumi.
Zumi,
Yeah.
and then eventually we talked about the hanger on
We
Chris.
gassed him up, and since then he's been crazy.
It's been good, man. Shout out Jakey Melksham.
Anyway,
We'll jump into Saints versus the Swannies.
man, for the record, we were almost right on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saints
true.
suck, man. But if they didn't, they could have won that. I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Goulden with the tap down from Grundy, kicking that winner.
Mate, again, man, Grundy. You know what? With Sherry out for 3 weeks now, and if that goes through, you actually maybe you do the Gaundi, you do the Gaundi All Australian. You know
Look,
what I
I
mean?
think
Run
this
it back.
does hurt Sherry's chances at All Australian. To be
I
honest.
agree.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, it's
100%.
over. Yeah, forget
Yeah,
about it.
I think if it was between him and Gorn, right? But now it's like now I don't know. You got to talk about Grundy, man.
Yeah, Grundy's
talk
been
about
amazing.
Yeah, look, it's great to see, man. It's great to see, and Goulden as well. Just bopping up when it matters. That's just type of footballer he is, man. So sort of harsh on the Saints, man. Like that's opportunity to give their fans something to enjoy. But up by 20 in the third.
Haywood popping up with a couple big ones.
So is Jack Lloyd, new forward, 3 goals.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, look,
He's played a bit of a swingman role over the last couple of years. Not massively, but
More so wing though.
wing, and
wing,
then-
a bit of half forward.
Yeah, back when he was the seagull.
Yeah.
He was the initial seagull, but like 15
They've
meter
got
kick.
National Geographic has named seagulls after Jack Lloyd.
Yeah, no.
There's a Jack Lloyd with like, I don't know, a pink seagull.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm stretching.
If there's a like a dictionary with pictures, you know what I mean? Like seagull, it's a photo of Jakey Lloyd.
Yeah.
But yeah, look,
What's there to say about this game, man?
yeah, look, I think Windhager, man, all of a sudden is he something? I don't know. Is there something?
Look,
there with him?
Windhager's a young player, so he's going to be very good.
Yeah.
He's only 21 years old.
Yeah, and then if he is someone who provides something for them, all of a sudden that midfield group, him, Philippou, maybe Travalia eventually goes in there.
Wilson,
Does,
more
yeah,
wing.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's not as bad as it could be. Maybe Naz, he's
Played midfield this year.
Yeah, all of a sudden there might be a little bit of fun. They got the cheeky Viking as well.
Mm.
It's not. I feel like it's not as bad as we thought.
No,
the Saints.
their youth is okay. I feel like the older players are the ones that let them down.
Yeah, but I think maybe those older dudes, like say McRae and Steele. I don't know if you want both of them in the midfield. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe you just want one of those dudes to be the leader in there. Take the hits while the younger guys sort of get a bit better. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's just interesting that they're going for De Koning still at this point. Because that's such a win now move for a team that isn't in the. They should not be in that.
And their ruckman's not a bad player either.
Oh, Marshall's great. The thing I didn't realize, like I forget with him, is that he was a mature age recruit, so he's already, even though he hasn't been in the league as long, he's getting a bit old.
He's getting, but I mean, Grundy's pretty old as well. And he smashed the shit out of him.
Yeah, true, true.
Isn't it a thing just on the salary cap stuff? Isn't it a thing in the AFL where you have to either spend your money or top up your current player? Like, you basically have to use it.
Yeah, I think that is a thing.
So
maybe that's what the idea is, and maybe it's a front-ended deal.
That's the thing. Like, you've got to spend the money anyway, whether it's a great fit or not. It's kind of like you've got to give it to someone. And if you can somehow recruit someone of that quality, even if it's not a perfect fit, as St Kilda, you probably just do it.
Yeah, true. And I do think Ron Marshall could play forward. I think he'd be a fine forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just an inconsequential game, like the next one, to be honest with you. But this game was interesting, though. I'll tell you that.
It was almost very newsworthy, but not really in the end.
Yeah, no.
Well, the news was really just Harley Reid going at it with Horn Francis.
Yeah. And
two big Suki babies, man.
Two big Suki babies, and It's weird because I look at them and it's like, okay, North, we had Horn Francis and then he left. And then we won that game against Gold Coast and we lost Harley Reid. So it's just a showcase of just two dudes we could have had.
You know what? I joke around. I like the scraps. It's funny.
Yeah.
I like the passion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Reid has to just let the football do a bit more talking about, to be honest with you. And in this case, he's actually, he did all right in the midfield.
By far their best player in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, other than all of the free kicks.
Yeah. Like, what was it in the end? 6 against.
That's too many.
Yeah, nah. You gotta wind that back a little bit, young fella. Yeah, it was 6. 3-4. So does that balance it out at all? Nah, not really. But yeah, I think story out of this game sort of for Port is Horn Francis goes down, but then it doesn't matter, man. They're not making final. No, so it's like I look at this game and I'm like, well, we don't really need to discuss it.
No,
to be honest with you, like a bit of excitement here and there. Like Rosie hurt his finger, Like what else we want to say?
Georgiades didn't kick straight for once.
Yeah, 3 goals 5. Like that's a ugly looking goals behinds ratio 3-5.
Lukosius comes back. Is it? I think his second game back or
second.
0 goals, 2 7 possessions. Good.
See, back to tall Jaden Stevenson. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not first year Jaden Stevenson. We're talking, last year, type Jaden Stevenson. I'm happy to sort of just move into tips, boys, if I still got something to chat about for that one. Actually, I will say before we go into tips, I will say draft, where it's in Supercoach draft is quite important to us, in our little group. I'm versing Georgie this week. Look, both of us have copped the injuries, man. Like, I've copped from that game alone, Jack Graham, Horn Francis, and then also Nick Martin ACL. 3 forwards gone in one foul swoop.
I thought you were going to give my flowers for a second. Go straight into your game. Top of the table, week 1 off. Dino.
Oh yeah, true. No, look, but that doesn't matter.
Where's my flowers, man?
Look, flowers to you, man. But like
minor premiers right here, man. No flowers.
Minor premiers. Well, look, yeah, okay. Maybe next year that should be a thing. Part of the pot goes to the minor premier.
I would love that.
That's
actually no.
We'll introduce it next year, but
bigger prize pool next year. We're going bigger and better.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Anyway, little tangent there. The tipping, it starts off with Essendon versus GWS, and that's a very simple GWS pick, just by how much. What margin are you doing, boys? I
just dragged the slider and saw where it stopped. It stopped on 77, so that's where we're going.
That's fair.
85 plus, mate.
85 plus. All right, I'm thinking, I'll go right in the middle, mate. 80. Next game, interesting game, Brisbane versus the Bulldogs at the Gabba. It's hard to go against Brizzy.
Yeah, we'll go Brizzy at the Gabba.
Would be huge if the Dogs won it.
They need it. They do need it.
They do need it, yeah.
One of those, 3 tough games that we're talking about that they have, they need to get one of those.
This would be a serious win if they did it.
So at Utah's Hawthorn versus Port.
I feel like
and-
this is a relatively fun matchup though, because these teams have a bit of history over the last couple of games.
Yeah, true. But the Port Adelaide outs, man. Rosie's, touch and go. Horn Francis is out.
Yeah.
I think, it's going to be easy for the Hawks, man, in my opinion.
Sydney North, Sydney handsomely, to be honest.
So far, only one good game out of the 4 to watch at this point. Carlton versus Melbourne, 2 irrelevant teams.
Look, that might actually be a close game.
Could be so bad, it's good. One of those ones.
For the record, this is one of those for the record type ones.
Does Carlton get their first win forever? I can't see it. I honestly can't see it. We're
It's
such a
hard
wreck.
to see, man.
We're such a wreck.
Yeah.
Like you can picture Malcolm, he's in good form.
And he always kills Carlton.
Yeah.
He's the killer of Carlton. I can't imagine sitting on this couch and talking about a win.
I'm gonna go.
We're so far gone, bro.
But even then, even if you guys do win, you're not going to be any happier.
No, I'll be
That's the thing.
more angry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
I hope we lose.
I'm going Carlton, man.
Yeah,
For
let's
you.
go Carlton.
Not for them, for you.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Fair enough. I'm thinking Melbourne. West Coast versus Richmond, another
Heavyweights.
irrelevant game. Being that it's at Perth, I'm happy to go.
I'm going to go
Eagles.
Tigers just so they can keep winning, mate.
Nah, it's
No, I'm going West Coast, man. Over
Surely
at Perth.
Eagles.
But the Tigers won the last one.
Yeah, but the West Coast are actually playing some decent footy. They just need to look. Usually, I'll say they need to maintain it for longer. But then, what are we thinking? Richmond can all of a sudden play 4 quarters? They can't. They're too young as well. So I'm gonna go there.
Haters, mate. Haters. I reckon Richmond's going to have more wins than Carlton into the season.
That's That'd
If they win this, they're on 5. They're 1 behind Carlton.
I don't think they will, but that's interesting.
The
prediction.
Hawks fans who have the Carlton picks, they'll be hoping for that. I'll tell you that. Anyway, Geelong versus the Saints.
Is this
Geelong.
for a record game? I feel like the Saints play them okay.
They beat him at the start of the year.
You guys can.
It's not.
Not a
I'm
GMH
sick of
man.
going for the record with the
Yeah,
Saints,
yeah,
man.
no,
They've
no,
lost
no.
like 6 games in a row.
For the record, they suck. Yeah, no.
So we're going Geelong. Collingwood versus Fremantle at the G. Now,
That's all right.
Collingwood need to respond. So I'm going to go with them. But Freo? The Freo?
Let's
I think
go to the Freo.
the 6% tipster's choice on Freo is a bit insulting, but I'm still going to go Collingwood.
Fair enough.
Collingwood to lose 2 in a row.
Bit of a slide.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, so this is the Freo with
I don't think. I
let's
think
go to
Collingwood losing that game is probably good for them in the end because they've been so good this season. Sometimes it's good to lose and recalibrate.
Do we go the
That's
Freo?
fair.
For vibes, man. We're all like 20 points behind the leader.
Let's
So
go the
We're going to
Freo.
all together. We're doing the Freo.
The Freo. Done.
Adelaide versus Gold Coast at Adelaide Oval.
that's a pretty good game.
That is great. Look, I think with Adelaide's firepower, I can't really go against them. But Gold Coast, and they don't travel. Gold Coast.
Bit of aura, the Suns, apparently.
But
They've got aura at the moment, mate.
they got some aura.
For Took.
So who you going? What are you doing, man?
I'm going Crows.
You going crazy?
Yeah. All right.
I think that's the mature choice, lads. All right.
Done. Shall I read out quickly the tipping comp?
Yes.
So, still in first place. Lana S. Skivo. She's got a 2-point lead now, 116.
Wow.
Tied on second is Kiara T and Fish and Crips on 114.
Fish and Crips has gone up a bit.
I think so. Yep. Bock Hall, lone in fourth on 113. And then lone in fifth is Paul Curtis Taylor. Actually, no, sorry, tied with Bin Juice 1. Not to be confused with Bin Juice.
Oh, man.
And we are nowhere in sight, boys.
We're nowhere in sight. Oh, yeah. Nah, look.
Wait, where's Bilbo as well?
I know,
He's
Bilbo's
fallen
gone.
off.
Is he? Maybe he's
No,
like
he doesn't
me.
tip anymore.
Nah, fair enough, man.
He doesn't tip anymore.
Understandable, man.
Just quit.
Yeah, ChatGPT, quit doing tipping. Because even ChatGPT finds it
What
too
rank
hard.
are you, Dino?
Oh, I just closed it. I don't know.
I'm
Not good.
I'm 69.
Hey,
Hey.
Planned.
stay there, mate. It's all good. All right, I think we're done, boys.
Yeah, I think that we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.
Bye-bye.